How many lessons does it take to learn the one that you need to? How many obstacles do you have to overcome before you recognize the powerful that you are? Before you believe you? How many chances do you need to convince yourself that you can? How many stories do you require before you are able to not just acknowledge the message, but comprehend? Because your life is waiting. Because while you're debating whether or not, when, and if, there is someone on the other side of your hesitation awaiting your gift, someone that needs your example, your instructive action of how to handle both the impossible and the unknowns. There is an entire audience waiting to see what you can produce. What good is a seed left ungrown? Never mind the why nots and excuses. It's your turn to say, look what I've got, and to show what the proof is. But how many challenges must you face before you notice that you've come through them all? How many times are you going to say something contrary to what your intention is, not realizing that doubt doesn't initiate any conversation with you? It answers your call. But how many days are you going to collect in your pile of procrastination? How much more time will you spend worrying, wondering, unwilling to walk into it, waiting? You have some work to do. There is a universal law of attraction on alert and ready to manifest your specific purpose. Let it work for you. It is time to accept that you might be right about everything you say about yourself, bad and good. Every limit, lackluster effort, low vibration energy, and lie that has been told was able to affect you because you said it could. But that can just as well be another goal achieved, another mountain climbed, another boundary broken, another level surpassed because you decided it would. So how many fights do you have to fight before you accept that you are quite the contender? How many victories do you need in your repertoire to convince you not to surrender? How many opportunities do you have to pass up before you attempt to do something different? How many multiple choice malfeasances do you think you are going to have to impact your life before you decide to listen? You are hoarding these half-assed excuses and reasons not to. You're experimenting with unnecessary means and measures, a deliberate practice and exercise of exactly what you should not do. For the sake of what? Gathering evidence and experience to be able to say that you struggled? That you doubled down on principles and pride because you stood for something exquisite? There is no such thing as a perfect time other than this moment to do what you are supposed to do. All you have is now. Right now. Don't you miss it. But how many nights are you going to pray tirelessly in regards to another day you've wasted? How many times are you going to satisfy your appetite for more with just an idea of what could be in front of you, ignoring your own hunger for what someone else has tasted? How many letdowns and let goes will be sufficient to push you forward? How many missed opportunities, lost chances, could have been me, but I messed up seasons are you going to continue to stop you from moving towards it? Enough should be enough by now. Your story should be a story about how many times you've ignored any opposition with consistency, about how many generational curses you've broken, how many rooms that your brilliance has illuminated instantly, about how many lessons learned, steps taken, missions accomplished, and celebrated victories, about how many times you've won, about how many times you've made history. So how many lessons does it take to learn the one that you need to? How many obstacles do you have to overcome before you recognize the powerful that you are, before you believe you? How many chances do you need to convince yourself that you can? How many stories do you require before you are able to not just acknowledge the message, but comprehend? How many?